Hi, this is session 5. Great to be with you again. Today we're going to talk about the feminine state. And I say state, not gender, because often we can get a woman living in her masculine state or a man living in his feminine. And I know that well because I lived in my masculine for over a decade. You see, I went into business young. I was about 19 when I had my first business, and I was in business, I still am in business, but for a long time I did business through the masculine. I thought I had to, I thought that was the way to do it. I thought I had to do that to be successful, and I did it well. And you know, I was seeking power, control, success, and I wanted to dominate in business. But it also flows over to your home life. So with your partner, you end up competing with your partner, and you feel rushed all the time. You're much sharper with your kids, and more importantly, you lack the gift of vulnerability. You lack wanting to go vulnerable. And it's so important, vulnerability. It's a gift that women have got, and a lot of people don't see that gift. A lot of people misunderstand the gift of vulnerability. A lot of people think it's weakness. And it is not weakness. Vulnerability is strength. It's knowing yourself and letting yourself go to places and influence other people from that place. And it's a graceful place. It's very, very strong. And I think for women living in their masculine, they really miss that gift of vulnerability. The feminine state is very different from the masculine state. Often in the feminine state, we're trying to fill up all the time. Coffee shops, experiences, meeting girlfriends, that is all in the feminine state. Where men are trying to empty and they're trying to eliminate. Women want to experience love. They want to feel cared for, they want to experience love all the time. And one thing my husband does, which I love, and this represents this to me, at night time when we're getting ready to go to bed, he'll put a wee bit of toothpaste on the toothbrush and just leave it sitting there. And I really feel loved and cared for. And the guys are thinking, it's a piece of toothpaste, it's this big. But it's just the whole meaning behind that. You know, quite often for a woman, it's not the big things that they want, it's the text message saying, thinking of you. That's how small it is. Women want to be understood, so often we just expect him to know. We expect him to know it's your anniversary coming up in March. And ladies, just tell him. It doesn't matter, just tell him. A lot of women will go down the path where, well, if I tell him, then the text message or the flowers don't mean the same. Get over it. Just tell him. Set yourself up for success. Help the poor bugger. And men appreciate this because there's some things where they're not good at, where we remember things. Men don't remember things. And women want to make small things big. And recently I needed to get a tyre for my car. And my husband was on about, every day, have you got that tyre yet? Have you got that tyre yet? Have you got that tyre yet? So I thought, look, I better go and get this tyre because I got sick of blowing the tyre up myself. And he came home from work and I was home. And he said, did you get the tyre changed? And I said, yes, I did get the tyre changed. In fact, the guy was gorgeous. This is what happened. I met him. He asked me about my businesses. He gave him a business card. He wants to come and visit me next week to talk about his business. And we started talking, and he's been divorced about a year. He was telling me about his wife, and he's got a new girlfriend now. So I was telling my husband the whole story. And my husband stood there And you know, he's done a lot of work on himself, so he knows to give me presents and just to stand there and listen. And at the end of it, all he wanted to know was, did you get the tyre changed? And the answer was yes. But I had a whole story about it. You see, women have got a lot more words than men. 23,000 words women will speak to a man 7,000. A lot more words there. And women like to be chased, gentlemen. So when you're arguing and she goes off into the room and says, leave me alone, what she really means is, come in after me. And knock the door down if you have to. Another major difference is, have you ever watched women meet each other? The first, just watch it and find out for yourselves. But if you're sitting at a coffee shop and you're watching another group of women meet each other, listen for the compliments. We're actually quite beautiful. Listen for the compliments. It's, I love your shoes. Oh, that jacket really suits you. Have you had your hair done? It looks great. And you just listen to the compliments flying. And you watch a group of men meet. And it's like, bloody hell. You were late, or what are you wearing, or you look like a dog, or so they greet each other quite differently. And often women say, you know, do I look fat in this dress? And you never hear a man saying that. Of course, unless it's in his feminine, he might. And another major difference is, you know, lately with the economic situation, you know, we've had a lot more couples maybe who are going bankrupt, and unfortunately they're losing their belongings. And the difficulty for a woman is always the same common denominator. The difficulty is them losing their home. Because their home is full of memories, and it means so much to them. And a man's attitude is, you know, we'll buy another. And it's important that he understands how she feels about the home. And it's important that she understands how he feels about it. But it's definitely a major difference. And women always remember things. So, gentlemen, just be careful, because they will remember the dates and times of events that happens. And one of the major changes in a relationship is women test all the time. And if you don't get the word test, get the word push. Women know how far to push their partner before he pops. We're talented at this, it's a gift, we're born with it. So a woman will push and push and push, or will test and test and test. And I know for me, for my husband, a long, long time ago in our marriage, he stood up to me. And, you know, I remember throwing something at him. And I remember as it was leaving my hand, I thought, I don't want to do this. It's not how I want my relationship to be. And in the slow motion, as I seen it run across the room, I was regretting throwing it. And he stood up to me and he looked at me and he said, don't you ever, ever treat me like that again. And I had more respect for him. And what he set the standard where, you know, you'll not treat me like this. It was the best gift he gave me. And I'd like you to know I haven't thrown anything since. So the difference is, you know, we're very different in our makeup, but the more we understand ourselves, and the more we understand our partner and the differences, the healthier our relationship becomes. Because quite often we end up fighting and bickering over things that are quite natural for a woman to do, or things that are quite natural for a man to do. So the more we understand ourselves, the more we grow, and life can be awesome when we come down this path. It's like you and your partner and the rest of the world. It is really a soft place to land, and I want that for all you guys too.